What's up, my fellow traders? Hope you all having an awesome day. A quick one here on nat gas, gold, silver, crude oil, starting with natural gas. So what do we have right here? So price did form a bullish engulfing pattern, but that didn't play out. It fails and then the price pushes down. So this support has failed, but very important thing I want to mention here. Now, if you look here, this daily candle is now in a process to close down. Yesterday, we had a similar condition and then the price pushes back up and close back up. So, for the traders who are looking to buy, make sure it must not close as a bearish candle. If that closes as a bearish candle on a daily time frame, that we have a confirmation, the price will then start to push down. Possibly hit the trend line. If fails at the trend line, then it will go down to the next support, which is quite far. So that is very important to look for the daily candle, a very crucial candle, and it could be a fake out as well if that pushes back up. So very important to see how this candle close, that is on daily time frame, and that was a long-term outlook. Now on a smaller time frame, like I mentioned yesterday, I'll be actively looking for my bearish pullback entries on 4 hour after a solid pullback. We might get some sort of correction because we are now oversold in the RSI. If the correction comes with a bearish candle, that will be a solid sell signal. So my bias is more towards the downside since we are now broken below 50 EMA. The zone is broken on 4 hour time frame. So now I want to see a solid confirmation like engulfing candle. So that is all I'm looking at till the price hit this trend line. Once the price hit this trend line, I want to see a solid confirmation like engulfers or a double bottom right at the trend line. So keep an eye at sell below 50 EMA and buy at the trend line. If there is no confirmation at trend line, the price will likely to push down into this green zone. So keep an eye. That is something I'm looking at on NEMEX. Now on capital.com, the price still didn't hit the support. That is why my eyes are on the support zone that was already mentioned in my weekend's video and right at these numbers in blue. Once we are in this zone, make sure we are looking for the solid engulfer, the one we had on NEMEX, that must engulf the previous candle, including the body and the wick both. If that happens on this zone, that will be an aggressive entry. If we have a double bottom, that will be a solid entry, a solid confirmation. And in that case, we can expect a solid bounce that is enough to cut your profits. Come out and then look for the next opportunity. If we have broken above 50 EMA, we have a trend continuation. If we reject from 50 EMA, then we have a possible push back down. For now, look for this condition from the support. But for sell trades, I want to see first a break below this low, then a pullback, and then a bearish engulfing pattern to go short. So that is all I'm looking at here. Sell after the break of this low, then a pullback and engulfer. Or if we have a buy condition here first, I'll be going long. On Awanda, exactly same as NEMEX. This fails here, but we had a break earlier. Now, at this point, I'm no longer looking to buy. I'm just looking to sell with bearish engulfing pattern. That is all I'm looking at till the price get to this trend line. If fails at the trend line, I normally don't trade from the trend line. I mainly look at the major support zones that is marked in green. So I'll be personally looking at the better entry from the support if it fails at the support. But for now, I'm just looking for the solid pullback and bearish engulfing conditions to go short. So that is all we are looking at on this platform. On NEMEX as well, just look for the bearish pullback entry below 50 EMA or double bottom or engulfers right at this level that was already mentioned to you. So for now we are bearish and we are only looking to sell but with pullbacks and engulfing, bearish engulfer confirmation. Next up we have gold. Gold is not stopping anywhere. Now what I'm expecting at this point, if this candle turns out to be a bullish engulfer, again that is not a valid entry. It invalidates one of my rule. Instead I'll be looking for some more pullback. Could be above 20 EMA, could be above 50 EMA. If there is a solid pullback, I'll be going long. So for now I'm not entering here, but instead I'll be entering after some more pullback, and if there's an engulfing pattern after the pullback, I'll be simply going long. So that is all I'm looking at for gold, only buying but with solid confirmation. It could be back to this previous anchor and then engulfer. It could be at 50 EMA and then engulfing pattern, but we are only buying in this trending market with confirmations on 4 hour time frame. Next up we have silver. Now for silver, the conditions are a bit different. Now yesterday I've said that you can manage your trade to 1.618 retracement and that perfectly hit your take profits. Let's see the clip from the last video so that you can understand how we entered aggressively from this level. All the way from here, if I use the lower level, exactly here. So I'm expecting a 50% retracement here on silver or 382 retracement, and then we can expect a solid push up to 786 and then level 1, and then you can manage your trades to 1.618 retracement. But that's going to be very risky here, and that is what we call patience and taking the trades with conditions. No ifs, no buts, clear condition. So if you remember in my weekends video, I've shown you one example of 1.618 fib level. It acts as a good support if it's below, and it acts as a very good resistance if it's above. And that trade was exactly here, 1.618 retracement, right here, a fib level, hit the fib level and then perfectly shoots up. Now if you don't cut your trades here, because that was the entry and that was a take profit, that was a big amount of profits. That's a greed if you are not coming out. And now a very good example I want to teach you, 1.618 fib level. Hit the level and exactly from there it pushes down. Now what I'm expecting, if this candle turns out to be a bullish engulfer, that's my buy signal and I'll be going long using 1 ATR for the target. Silver has a very high volume and the ATR is very high at this point. If you look here, that's above the $1. So if we enter here, let's say we have an engulfer, I'll be going at least $1 move. That's exactly like this. So we'll see how that goes. Once this candle is closed, I'll be buying if closed as a solid bullish engulfer. If not, I'll keep looking for the pullback, more pullback and engulfer to go long, or a retest of the previous anchor that was broken to enter my buy trade, which this level is already mentioned in my weekends video. So keep looking for this entry. Once that happens, we are going for the trade. Finally, we have crude oil. Now, crude oil, I've already mentioned about this fib entry, similar as silver and the one forex pair, which is Euro AUD. The entry was triggered here, 1.618 retracement is right here. That could be risky again. That's totally up to you if you want to manage it. Otherwise, the take profit too has been hit. Let's see the clip from the last video so that we can connect the dots from there. Crude oil pushing up nicely. Now, that also hit 50% retracement and 382 retracement and start to push down. Aggressive entry has been triggered. Perfect. So if you have taken this aggressive entry, which I have not, then you have made some money. Now, at this point, I'm actively looking for buying crude oil from the zone, which is right here. If the price forms bullish engulfers or double bottom, I'll be going long, either above the zone or below the zone. Wherever I get a buy conditions, I'll be simply going long. Since for now there is no confirmation, that is why we might see a pullback and bearish confirmation to go short again. So for now, I'm actively looking for buying if the condition forms. Otherwise, we are still bearish until you see a confirmation to buy. So we are now in a buying area and find your entry confirmation within this zone. So that's it for today's video. Hope you got a value. If yes, hit like button for me, subscribe if you're new so we can all trade together and trade efficiently. Hope you trade green. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care.